Welcome to Community Connection. I'm Cindy Bravos. Now in its third season, the International Exposition of Contemporary and Modern Art, Expo Chicago, features leading galleries from around the world. Joining us with more information is the President and Director of Expo Chicago, Tony Carmen. Welcome to Community Connection.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm glad to be here.
It's nice because year three, things are a little bit more settled. You're not going through the birthing process, and the show is kind of regenerated.
Very much so. I think it's, we get to borrow from the grand tradition of an art fair in Chicago for almost 32, 33 years. But our edition that began in 2012, now in our third year, the programming gets to mature and the world gets to hear, we have 3 years of outreach as well as, all of our efforts to make sure that we're doing our part to tell the world to come here. And, it takes time to continue to spread that word.
As an international show, what is it that makes this one so different?
A lot of it has to do with our great city. I said that, I think the last time we spoke. I think that there's no question we have an extraordinary list of dealers that is respected worldwide. That's a key, important part of this. After all, if the dealers and the artwork isn't of the highest quality, then the fair then isn't playing at that level with which we are proud to be playing, and that's one of the best art fairs now in the world. But that's the first step. But these art fairs generate a great deal of international cultural tourism, a great deal of partnerships from institutions from around the world, and they're coming to the fair, they're coming to Chicago, they're coming to explore our restaurants, our museums, our galleries, our artists, and I think that's the wonderful byproduct of an international art fair that takes place in our area.
The show runs the 14th through the 18th of September at Navy Pier, so you have a beautiful venue, and you have stuff inside and outside. What can viewers expect or visitors expect?
In Navy Pier we have a great deal of programming along with the exhibition, the artwork that's for sale. That's at Navy Pier, and I think that will take a good deal of time for anyone to navigate through because we have an extraordinary list of special exhibitions and installations from galleries and artists from around the world. And then this year outside, a new addition I think I'm very proud of, partnering with the Chicago Park District and the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events in Chicago. We're doing what's called in situ outside. In situ is our installations that take place inside. We're moving a couple outside, working with artists, and we're unveiling a sculpture by the internationally renowned artist Ai Weiwei. It's going to be taking place near the Adler Planetarium, and this is a work that's going to site next week, and it's going to be up for a number of months. That kind of outside, that kind of moving the fair into areas throughout the Chicagoland area is something that we plan to do for a long time.
And what a great way to roll out the welcome mat and make it a citywide event so that people do, not just stay at the pier to see the events there, but you also have, every possible kind of art. It's not just sculpture, it's not just paintings. You've got to talk about the video gallery.
Video is extraordinary. It's called Expo Video. We work with a curator, internationally renowned curator named Astria Suparik, who took a look at applications from our galleries that are participating in the fair that submitted work for our video presentation. And we have what's called Expo Video. There are special pods, viewing pods for an individual to see a very curated exhibition of some of the best new cutting-edge video work in the world.
I would imagine by year three, the number of applications has really started to roll. You closed applications in February of this year, so that by September you could have everyone in place.
Yeah, it's an international art fair of this stature has a selection committee of internationally renowned dealers. The applications come in. In May, we meet with the selection committee to select out of a pool of applications the 140 galleries that are doing the fair. And so in that way, we can present the highest quality international exposition, and it's vetted through them.
Well, let's talk about exposure, because that's a little bit of a smaller scale, and what an honor to be chosen to be in exposure. Explain exposure to us.
Exposure is a section of galleries, a section of the fair, galleries 7 years and younger. So it's a reduced price for participating, but it allows a younger gallery to emerge and be a part of an international art fair with many of the more established contemporary galleries from around the world, and it gives them a platform to expose, which is really the name of the section, expose their artists and their program to a broader collector base. So it provides a youth and a vitality and an opportunity for these galleries really to connect in a way that is beneficial to their long career.
Well, we're going to tell people to go to your website, expochicago.com, September 14th through the 18th for this year's event. We wish you much continued success. Tony, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. It's a real honor. Thank you, Cindy.
An annual convention since 2007, Brick World is for the enthusiasts of the popular Lego brand construction toys. Community Connection headed to the Schaumburg Convention Center to see some impressive creations.
We're here today at Brick World. It's a Lego convention and exposition that goes on at the Schaumburg Renaissance Convention Center every year. We cover 66,000 square feet of displays and vendors that'll be open to the public this weekend. And we do have attendees here from, I believe, 11 different countries and 40 states this year. So right now in this room we have a lot of assembly going on. People have brought in their Lego creations and they're getting all set up. It's Thursday afternoon and we open to the public on Saturday. Everything has to be set up by tomorrow at about noon, though, because that's when the judges start going around to nominate creations for the awards here at the event. And the judges have to go through about 3,000 different creations to pick out. There's about 70 different nominations that happen, and then about 19 award-winning creations by the time we're done.
This castle display that I built over the last 7 years, I started in 2007. I started with the castle, and then I just slowly added more and more city onto my display. And finally, now it's 25 feet long and about $35,000 Lego. So there are about 350 to 400,000 pieces. Everything was designed by me. My influences are varied. I mean, every movie, every book, every thing that you've ever seen, picture of medieval stuff, I all stored up in my brain, and so I just kind of let that spill out into the Lego bricks as I build. There used to be an internal portion to the castle, but the castle unfortunately was destroyed in transport about 5 years ago, and when I put it back together, I didn't put the interior back in because the people at the shows couldn't see it anyway. So what I do now instead is I will build buildings that will literally are cut in half at the edge of my display, and it's like the end of the world. And what that does is it creates, you have to show the interior then, and so then the people can see inside some of my buildings.
So I was looking for a model to build where I wanted to build a building that hadn't been done, that was distinct in architecture and had some style to it. So I was searching through the internet, found this amongst other buildings, and I selected this one as a good idea that I could build. It's called Villa Emcee. It's a villa that's located in Thailand. It's a luxury retreat that people can rent for about $2,000 to $3,500 a day if they feel so obliged. I did some initial sizing of it, considered minifig scale very briefly, but realized it would take up my whole room, and it wasn't really that practical. So I scaled it back down to a micro scale and constructed this. It took about 6 to 9 months to get all the parts together and build it throughout the process. The lighting was added in the past 30 days specifically for this show. We bought a bunch of 2x3 millimeter LEDs and then wired them all together on little tight wires. It has a massive impact on the mock, and it really does look an awful lot better as a result of having the lighting in it. I contacted the architect who designed this building, and he was actually really impressed, and he actually ended up putting up pictures of it on his Facebook page. And he was actually really quite impressed that I tried to capture the whole scene and the whole environment of the building. And that was quite happy. I was quite thrilled, because usually you never know what to expect when you copy someone else's art, right? And it was very nice to get a positive response from the architect.
This competition is called Spaceship, Spaceship, Spaceship. The whole goal is to bring in the attendees, give them access to a whole random assortment of parts. They don't know what they're going to get, and in a set amount of time, they have to build a sci-fi themed creation, whether it's a spaceship, a mecha, or a land vehicle. The goal is to see the creativity on short notice with no pieces that they know ahead of time of what they come up with. The creations are judged by me, and I base it on essentially 3 categories. Color usage, nice part usage, so that they take parts that are used maybe for something else and they design the spaceship around it, and this overall design of the creation that they make. He picked a great color scheme, nice part usage. I like this one the best, but barely, man. You guys really overwhelm me with what you guys can do in 2 hours with random parts. You have a system that spans 30 plus years, 40 years, and the parts are all compatible from what your grandparents used to today.
When they hear the word Lego, everyone has a very personal, very emotional story about growing up or things that they used to build, or people who rediscover Lego bricks with their kids as their kids get older. So everyone has a very emotional connection.
I don't think there is a single other toy out there that has as much possibility or creativity involved than the Lego system.
It instills creativity, it instills a basic engineering and creative discipline that combines both physical structure and art.
You can dream up whatever you want and you can make it, and people here at Brickworld are doing just that.
You can see Dale Klein's Lego Castle on permanent display at Medieval Times in Schaumburg. To find out more about the Brickworld Lego Convention, visit brickworld.us. With the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War and the 30th anniversary of the Vietnam Moving Wall, Berwyn's Park District recently announced Project Honor 2014, and Community Connection was there to witness this special day.
I am in the presence of men and women, not only the men and women that are on this wall, but the men and women who over the years have fought in the service of this country so we can enjoy the freedoms that we have in this country. This is the greatest country in the world, and it's all due to you. Thank you.
We are the color guard, and we do all the presentations. And when they brought the wreath, we salute for everybody that brings a wreath in, and we salute the young ROT person, and we salute them. And then we have to. Our job was to raise the flag in the morning, and then we lower it in the evening. We play the colors like we did today, and that's all we've been doing all week. We're the color guard. We're all the Vietnam guys.
The city of Berwyn is just tremendous in terms of their support of our military, and especially for the Vietnam veterans who did not really get a warm welcome home when we came back. And so this is a healing process, I think. The wall is something that's very emotional for those of us who served in Vietnam, and it's a wonderful opportunity for those veterans who could not travel to Washington, D.C. to actually see this wall here and share in that experience.
The names are everything on this memorial. This memorial will evoke an emotional response in people that don't even have a connection with the military, just because of the emotions that are involved and the memories that are involved with Vietnam. The younger folks obviously don't remember it, but oftentimes they have grandparents or older relatives that served there. And now that the Vietnam veterans are starting to open up, starting to talk about their experiences, and starting to bring some of these things to light, I think it's going to lead to the fact that more and more people will see the need to honor them and remember them and make sure that we take care of them.
I wish those that couldn't make it, I pray for them. The guys that didn't want to come because they don't want to talk about it or something, I wish they would. I wish they would come. We miss them all. They're our brothers. We want them here. We want to welcome them back. Just come and talk to us. You know, I don't know how come I came out. I didn't suffer PSD. I don't know why. I became a policeman in Chicago and I did 34 years. You know, so I locked that up in my mind, but I cry at the wall. I'm sorry. I just wish that my brothers would show up.
I'm involved, by the way, in a ministry, a military ministry, and we're reaching out to all veterans of all eras to try to help them heal with what they're doing. And I would recommend that if they're people of faith, that they should go to their churches and seek their clergyman or go to a chaplain and talk about it. But they should know that their service was honorable and that our country appreciates it, and our country will always appreciate their sacrifice.
For more information about the Vietnam Moving Wall, log on to themovingwall.org. Every summer, Montgomery Fest brings together neighbors and friends throughout the area to enjoy a weekend of old-fashioned family entertainment. Community Connection was there to check out the fun.
Montgomery Fest means to me, I mean, it's a celebration of community.
It's about saying hi to the kids, hi to the people. It's a community event. You know, all the goodness and the kind people and the smiling faces and the kids eating corn dogs, it's the best thing in the world for these guys.
It's a celebration of Montgomery, and even though we're technically a suburb of Chicago, I've always felt that Montgomery has had like a small hometown feel.
Well, it's an honor. This is an event that obviously has been going on for much longer than I've been involved with the village, but it keeps expanding every year. We tweak things just a little bit. We don't make a whole lot of changes.
It's a 3-day event. We have a battle of the bands on Friday evening. We also have carnival rides for the kids and stuff. We've got food all weekend. Saturday, we get into more music on the stage. Our Battle of the Bands winner from Friday gets to open for our main act on Saturday evening. We have a craft section going all weekend.
Obviously, it's a very kid-oriented festival, but we also have a lot for the older folks as well.
On Sunday, we have a great car show that's been going on for years. I hear it's one of the best in the area.
This morning we had the carp derby down there. We had a historic walk. We have all of our historic buildings open this week.
The parade usually starts at 1 o'clock and kind of goes through older Montgomery.
Today is parade day, parade and fireworks. So the parade route has been marked with no parking. Roads have been blocked. By 12:45, you won't be able to get into the area down here, so people need to come in early.
We've got another main band that's going to be on the stage, and then at 9 o'clock we have fireworks.
It's really geared towards families and anybody that wants to come down and have a good time.
To learn more about the Village of Montgomery, check out ci.montgomery.il.us. For the past 27 years, Chicago Gateway Green has been dedicated to greening and beautifying Chicago. This summer, they partnered with Horseshoe Casino for their annual Gaming for Green fundraising event.
Gaming for Green is a poker tournament and casino night, and it's our 9th year in the making, and wonderful Horseshoe Casino has been a sponsor for the 9 years. So we have the poker tournament, which the first 1 through 10 winners get to win wonderful prizes. The main prize is a $10,000 buy-in seat to the World Series of Poker in Vegas, and then also the 2nd through 9th winners win something as well. And then we have craps, blackjack, and roulette tables, as well as cornhole in the lawn. So it's really fun. It's a new thing that we started this year. Chicago Gateway Green is a nonprofit organization here in Chicago that has been around for 28 years. We beautify the city. We green and beautify. We go in the neighborhoods. We plant trees. And we also have an expressway partnership program where we have gardens on the expressways to and from Chicago, and we have over 100 gardens.
Gateway Green as a whole raises money to beautify the expressways in Chicago. Most people think that that's done by the city or the state, so we raise the money privately through donations from different companies. Gateway Green goes back about 28 years. It was started by a small group of business executives under the tutelage of Mayor Daley, and they literally went out in orange vests on the weekends and were picking up trash along the highway. And now it's turned into the organization we have now that hires different companies to participate in the beautification program.
Since inception, we've picked up 1.2 million pounds of litter, so it's very important that people support us.
I did sign up to play poker. I have played a few times in my life, so I'm hoping that my experience kind of comes through, but who knows, I might just bet it all in the first hand and call it a day, so we'll see.
I'm also going to play, not that I'm any good. Well, I'm not bad, but don't tell anybody.
My strategy is just to keep it cool, maybe charm the men a little bit, and try to see if I can distract them with the crown.
Try to be intimidating, so just kind of put on a little stare like that. Try to scare people into folding when they might have the better hand.
I don't know if I have one. I can't say that I'm the best at it, but I try to double down when I'm supposed to double down, you know.
My poker strategy is to step aside and watch the real people play, like the real pros play.
I will not be playing any poker, but I'm excited to be here and just mingling with everyone, getting to know new people, and I'm just happy to be here to support such a great organization.
To find out more about Gateway Green, visit them online at gatewaygreen.org. Hofbrauhaus Chicago is the first and only German microbrewery, beer hall, restaurant, and beer